These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mountain Goat article quote, "The Minister of Finances following up on the implementation of the stages of the financial and economic reform program. This is the kind of news we want to hear. As long as they keep moving along with the white paper, we know they are on track for the reinstatement of the dinar to Forex. It's not if, but when." Mark Z via PDK article quote, "For the first time in months in Iraq, $100 less than 148,000 dinar. The price of the dollar is going down and the dinar is going up. That is a big sign of what they're expecting in Iraq." Frank 26 article quote, "With the resignation of the Minister of Finance, the dollar is falling in Baghdad markets. You mean we get rid of the guy that was causing the problems with the monetary reform and all of a sudden the dollar starts to fall? Isn't that exactly what the monetary reform is trying to accomplish? Kazemi has a plan. Relax. Kazemi and the CBI's plan is for the USD to fall." Caparoni says a new article came out discussing strengthening the Iraqi dinar by deleting zeros, a lop, or flotation. The problem is they cannot float under the current circumstances due to the lack of economic growth and corruption. And a lop doesn't solve problems, it is a neutral event. For many years I've stated these are the only two options, and now it is confirmed. Unfortunately, flotation is the only solution, but Iraq is years away due to the lack of laws, corruption, and economic growth. So the dinar will remain weak for now. So if you're an investor in Iraq and own Iraqi dinar, you need to be prepared to wait several more years for them to create the conditions for Iraq to eventually float the dinar and allow it to gradually appreciate. Sandy Ingram, a new way Iraq is planning to add annual revenue outside of the oil industry. This is important because this is a part of the to-do list for increasing the value of the currency. Iraq, quote, "Iraqi move to establish economic free zones. Free trade zones are designated areas where finished goods and raw materials can be purchased, sold, manufactured, imported, and exported without going through customs. Even in the midst of political turmoil, Iraq is making progress to stabilize the Iraqi economy." Mark Z via PDK, "Nothing negative today, just very quiet. I'm expecting an update by this evening to see if the Redemption Center folks are on call this weekend or not. No one is talking about timing. They just continue to say, be prepared. We are very close." All right, Paulette, Guru Claire comment was, "Remember, they passed the EFSL under Kazemi while he is considered a caretaker gov, which they all said he could not pass laws. Checkmate Kazemi, Saleh, and Sadr, in my opinion." Paulette says when the parliament was dissolved prior to elections, Kazemi's government entered caretaker status and remains there today. Parliament passed EFSL, not the Kazemi caretaker GOI. The Kazemi version was shot down as unconstitutional as the caretaker government has no authority to pass any new legislation. Parliament gives the GOI authority, not the other way around. When and if Parliament is dissolved and early elections set, the Kazemi government must be given by Parliament prior to dissolution full emergency powers to enact anything required to maintain the country. If this occurs, the Kazemi government will have full, unopposed constitutional authority, and the CBI hopefully will see this as full security and stability. Nader from the Mideast said Iraq is going to be better. It's not going to be a civil war, believe me. They will not let it go to the civil war. They're going to sit down one day and they're going to talk about it, and the deal is done. The Iraqi people, in the end, we're going to stick all together. I know that for a fact. We're going to say, you know what? Screw you. We all don't want to lose our country. I hope that happens. All right, Breitling, Iraq is planning on taking their currency and causing it to go international with a real rate. If you don't think the Iraqi currency is manipulated, then you're in the wrong investment. Iraq is trying to get rid of artificial inflation. You have to know the value of the currency in the past. There's 500 years of evidence on how a currency can be washed out and then brought back. All right, Clear Community quote, if Parliament is basically dissolved and the executive branch under Kazemi is operating just fine, EFSL has passed and banks hooked up digitally and internationally, Buna, I would think a new exchange rate would be presented soon, unquote. Claire says it will be very soon, in my opinion. We all wanted this done already. I am sure about that, but it is coming very soon. All right, and Mark Z via PDK, my redemption folks, we're hoping for an update this afternoon. Their update got put off until tomorrow. In Iraq, this new acting finance minister is coming from the oil side, and that is pretty exciting. They're pushing for that change in rate. Pimpy is saying somebody asked, can I make a case for the $3.22 rate for Iraqi Dinar? Sure, I could, but I still think it's going to go up in increments. The only hope that anybody has that the rate would be reinstated would be if good old Maliki went in there and messed around with it. All of a sudden, we're hearing the coordination framework talk about there has to be a change to strengthen the Iraqi dinar's exchange rate. I don't want you to get your hopes up and misunderstood in what I'm saying. We have no idea what the rate change is that they're talking about. They might turn around and reinstate the rate to prior to this one, which means it moved from $14.50 every dollar back down to you get $11.90. Sure, it's a 27% increase, but it's not the kind of exchange rate that you're looking for. All right, Frank 26, the federal courts, in my opinion, have already dissolved Parliament many, many months ago. Federal courts are not needed to dissolve Parliament. Parliament is dissolved. It's been dissolved. Relax. Kazemi is your prime minister. Kazemi already has his government. He's been running the country of Iraq. Parliament is dissolved. All right, Mountain Goat Central Bank of Iraq reserves returned to levels before ISIS war. Unquote. Mountain Goat says, oh, but the dinar is still just 1/6 of a penny. Maybe someday you can brag about the rate of your currency reflecting its true value. Mountain Goat saying, very sad what they're doing to the Iraqi people and delaying all this wealth that can be derived from their currency. If only they released it to the world. Mark Z via PDK, I heard that if Iraq goes, then Vietnam would follow quickly within hours to revalue theirs. They are major trading partners.